This is what I have so far of my self-portrait. I primarily worked on it during technically the late morning hours, because I recall waking up at around 11, and then I continued working on the drawing up until about 3 p.m., which is around the time Dad and I left. First for some driving lessons, some driving practice, first on that high school parking lot, and then on his old route. Prior to that, I kept working on the self-portrait styrofoam drawing as I was on Discord chatting with a friend. This is meant to be a trademark symbol. I initially meant to have it be white by not covering some of the styrofoam with red Sharpie, but then when I went to color in the rest of the sleeve, I was distracted because I was on a Discord voice chat and ended up coloring the whole sleeve red pretty much, so then I had to draw the trademark symbol in with a black ultrafine Sharpie marker. I'm just about done with the face. I at one point spent quite a bit of time trying to determine what Sharpie marker to use for the inner parts of the ear, when I ultimately settled on my tried and true method of first using a raspberry colored Sharpie marker and then a brown Sharpie marker in order to get a darker raspberry color. I'm not entirely sure what kind of soup this is. Dad didn't tell me. It's currently 11:09 p.m. I think we were at Salvatore's from 5 p.m. to about 9. And after that, we drove Bill back to his place. First, there was the driving practice. Then we briefly visited Dad's parents. Then we picked up Bill. And then we went to Salvatore's for the driving practice. At the high school parking lot, I was initially nervous, I think because it had been something about a week since I last did driving practice. But as I kept going, doing laps around that parking lot with basically no cars, just a couple in this typical parking lot, I got less nervous, and my performance improved. I believe everything on this plastic lid plate Dad got from Aldi's. These are the mini eclairs that I have shown pretty frequently lately. Though they're more akin to cream puffs. But the packaging calls them mini eclairs. When we first went to start the old route part of the driving practice, we happened to see Sean. One of Dad's co-workers. And a friend of mine. Due to me spending plenty of time with Dad. We engaged in a conversation and then went off to do some laps around the old route. For both phases of today's driving practice, the parking lot and the old route, it was drilled into me that I ease into a brake, but I don't brake too much because then it'll effectively be a complete stop on a live road. It won't exactly be a complete stop, but slowing down a whole bunch will annoy any drivers that happen to be behind you. And you also want to, as usual, you want to basically ease on the gas either right after a turn or late during it. I believe this is the mushroom farzo soup that I kept seeing every time I looked into the cupboard. You ease on the brake before making a turn, and then ease on the gas, but either late during a turn or right after you've basically completed the turn. That's in order to ensure that you have as much control as possible. When it comes to the turn. Yeah, but there has been improvements in the turns. In particular, in cases where I have to make sharp turns, such as when going clockwise on the high school parking lot. And I'm doing good which way, how to push that signaler so I can correctly signal that I'm either going to turn left or right. I'm doing a good job of doing that subconsciously. As we were driving to pick Bill up, Dad said that I had learned 30% of what's involved in driving. 30%, and I made a comment in response to the effect of being ready to learn the remaining 70%. What I have so far is how I left the self-portrait when Dan and I left at around 3 p.m. in order to start today's activities. At 10 a.m. was when I had some mini eclairs, just like some of the ones I'm having now, that Dad had me pick out, just like right now in this case. And then it was 2 p.m. when Dad made 2 p.m. when Dad made the Cheetos mac and cheese with seasoning from the Zesty Day Brol, or the least spicy of the Man Crate's spices. And the whole time I sipped at least a few cups of coffee. I think when I first got up, I started uploading the June 16 My Dinner video, that U-Cut project I had put together the other day. I checked, I refreshed the channel content page, and then I went to the dashboard, and then that's when I was told that an age restriction was put on the 337th before the bus came, which didn't seem to make sense to me. The worst thing I did in that video was make a fist and have it be done close up to the camera, but I just did that in order to show my class ring to the camera, to my viewers. And I did that because I was also in a suit that belonged to Dad, because based off what I said, as awkward or nervous as I might have been in that video, it seems at times I seem to repeat stuff in that video. I more often than not called it dress-up day, but it seems to me it was school picture day. This age restriction was set at 12:50 a.m. So possibly while I was working on the self-portrait or watching videos on YouTube, I stayed up until about 5 in the morning. Got up at around 11:30 in the morning. I sent in an appeal, since I see no reason why the video should be age restricted. It's appropriate for a general audience. I carefully reviewed the video, which is about a minute long. I remember at some point while working on today's progress on the self-portrait styrofoam drawing that I tore into the new Ultimate collection of Sharpie markers, because I otherwise couldn't find an ultra fine medium gray Sharpie marker. For the glasses. While at Salvatore's, prior to that, I felt there's some level of stress, or maybe more accurately excitement, maybe, due to the combination of all the coffee I had. And one of my videos being age restricted, but I currently have the appeal in, and it's currently being reviewed. I assume that this is the work of YouTube's running AI programs. The technology is still relatively new, and mistakes are to be expected. I felt better by the time I got into the driving practice at the parking lot. At Salvatore's, it turned out they still had the Red Mule drink special for the month of June. So I got that first, and then much later, I got a custom cocktail of the liquor. I think it's pronounced Hypnotica. Hypnosis something. Hypno something. With pineapple juice and plenty of cherries. After that, I had 2 glasses of water. And then for the second glass, when I finished it, so much time passed that I then decided to chew the ice. Sean came into the Salvatore's with us, just as we did the same, but he left early, and when we came in, Maggie, another one of Dad's co-workers, came in later. Sean left early, and Maggie came in later. Excuse me. And Bill came in with us at Salvatore's after we picked him up. Between my first and second drink, Dad used a coupon to get a large pizza at a discounted price. We got a total of 3 toppings. 3 toppings, bacon, Italian sausage, and cup char pepperoni. On the traditional red base sauce pizza, of which I had to have it had at least 6 little square slices, some crust, some not. As I played today's daily challenge in Bloons Tower Defense 6, while the U-Cut project for the June 17 My Dinner video rendered. And prior to that, to make room for it, even though it wasn't necessary, I just want to try to avoid uploading a video with pretty much a completely full phone, if I can help it. I spent a few minutes reviewing both the June 14 My Dinner video, then the June 15 My Dinner video, and then deleted the raw video files for each day after I reviewed the corresponding video. And both the audio and video seem to be working fine. I just looked at the transcript of the auto captions to make sure the audio worked, and then watched just minutes total of the video. Probably just a handful of minutes in total. Dad also got some fried dough, of which he gave some to Magni, who reluctantly accepted it. And then I think as for the rest, at least I haven't had any so far because it was somewhat full by the time I had finished my pieces of pizza that Dad put on my pink paper plate. But Dad might have had some fried dough. Either way, there's some left for later. My phone battery is currently at 36%. I drained it to about 13% while at Salvatore's, by which point, thankfully, the female bartender had a phone charger that fit my phone on her third attempt, and so that I could charge it back up while I uploaded the June 17 My Dinner video and read some stuff on the internet. In this case, I think it was Quora, questions and replies to those questions. For the most part. But this phone charger didn't go into an outlet. It went more like into, maybe more like some kind of universal adapter. Either way, it didn't go into an outlet. I think my phone battery was charged back up to about halfway by the time Dad, me, and Bill left around 9 p.m. I think I just started charging it maybe somewhere between 7:30 p.m. and 8 p.m. Around that time, I would say. Yeah, I am very thankful to the bartender, as otherwise I may have encountered trouble in uploading the June 17 My Dinner video. I think if I upload the videos, start uploading videos to YouTube through my phone, then it has to be done to completion through my phone. Even though the uploads are ultimately done through YouTube.